All right, here we go. Here we go. Grand Rising, Kingdom Greetings, Great Awakening, fam. That's it. Yeah, doesn't it wouldn't do. Say, let's see how we go here. See, it won't do.
Oh, why?
I don't know. All right, locking it.
I think it's your own setting.
Sorry about that, family. Yeah, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, I think maybe it's that.
Let's see what's going on. It's right here. No. All right, we figure out what's happening. We'll get it. We'll get it right. Okay. Hmm. Let's see how we go now. Hey there. Run right. Kingdom greetings. Great awakening. So today, let's see. Technology, yes. Bear with us. Bear with us as we, you know. Oh my God, yeah. Okay. Bear with us as we get this together. But nevertheless, we see how we can see how we can do this together. We
Yeah?
can get it done.
Yeah.
Some way, some shape, some form.
Yeah.
Somehow it will be done.
So
Um,
maybe the other side? I
mm,
come the other side?
oh, maybe we can do this right here. We can push you back. There you go. And we come. Excuse us, family. Yep. And that's the bottom line. That's it. We will get it together. Yes. Grand rising, great awakening, kingdom greetings. Good to have each and every one of you. Great enlightening. Yes. And I know you noticed from my topic today, I have the spiritual climate. And so I thank each and every one of you. Welcome back to the transitioning table as we continue to transition from one thing to the other, whether it's from um, our spirituality, from Christianity or Islam, Muslim, whatever it is, into just being awoke to our spirituality, whether being transitioning from being single to being married, from being married to being single, from not having children to having children. The transitioning table is about all holistically transitioning out of one thing to the other because we know one thing for sure is change is consistent and it's inevitable. That's the only thing that is consistent is change.
Yeah,
And so today I welcome back to my channel, this beautiful, beautiful sister. She's Kenyan, yes, and I'm eternally grateful for the connection, the divine connection that the Most High has brought us together. So,
yeah,
Fatima,
yeah,
yes,
yeah. I'm also very, very grateful and welcome and great to be here.
yeah. So
Yeah.
today we want to talk about the spiritual climate. And whether we want to acknowledge where we are at on our spiritual journey, where we're in that beginner stage or where we've been on it for a while, but we're on a journey. We're on the spiritual journey, getting to know ourselves, coming back to self. You know, a lot of times we were pointed exterior to look out to somebody else for our spiritual guidance, for our spiritual direction. Um, but we never were taught to go within. And this is the place where we must now we must come to going within. Hababi Yashabuhi, Nana Michelle, Mama Michelle, good to have you with us. Yes. So I just want to ask you to get it all started. I know we talked the last time in terms of your um, I can't say waking up because you was awake, but now answering the call to the change, to transitioning yourself to take that leap and walk in your spirituality. So how are you now in terms of taking that bold step of transitioning out of what people thought was your spirituality to now embracing your own spiritual journey?
It has been, everything has its own challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when you want to do anything, there must be challenges, and also there is that paradigm that people are used to,
Mm-hmm.
that even you yourself you are used to. Because for me, what I look at, even when you're trying to change from anything, or even transitioning from one thing to the next, the greatest the greatest pushback comes
Mm-hmm.
from yourself. So whatever it is that you're seeing outside, and even people resisting and this and that, it is them showing you a part of you that you are not able to embrace fully
Mm-hmm.
and completely. So you see it outside there, but how are you going to interpret it? That is how I just look at the whole thing. So have there been challenges? Yes, a lot of challenges, but I look at them as these people or even things showing me part of me
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not ready to face, that I'm not ready to bring them out. So it is very interesting to look at it from that conscious place, because now you are not looking at the others and thinking they're stopping you from doing this or that, but
Mm-hmm.
you are looking at them as these mirrors that are just showing
Mm.
you what you are not yet ready to look at, or even it is just a way of bringing things to the surface that are supposed to heal. So that is how I'm going about the whole thing.
So what you're saying to me is that it has to come to a personal place.
Yeah,
You have to personalize it to come to a place where you need to know that um, what you're looking outside for is inside of you.
yeah,
And so anytime you see something on someone else, it is a reflection of yourself
yeah,
that you need to deal with.
yeah.
But you keep on putting up this resistance and not dealing with that issue. So that's why you keep on getting the
The
pushback.
pushback, yeah. So it is just them showing you. So whatever it is that you are seeing outside there, there is a lot of resistance here and there. It
Hmm.
is just showing you what you need to deal with within yourself. So that is how I'm looking at the whole thing. So it has been interesting,
It's
of
it's
course.
a very,
Yeah,
very interesting
yeah,
journey
yeah.
because
It is very
even for
interesting.
myself, who embraced this journey, I think it was 4 years ago, 20, I think it was 20, I was always on it, but there was always these little pit stops back into tradition of man. And then I think it was finally in 2020 when I really embraced it wholeheartedly and did a lot of pulling down and what do you call it? Ungarmenting myself from the traditions of man to now like, hey, I need to walk in this thing myself,
Yeah.
you know. And yes, there's been pushback, like we say, from people, but then that pushback from people is a reflection of yourself pushing back against what you used to do to come now to what it is now you're now walking in, accepting life holistically from every paradigm, from every angle. But even when I'm talking now, even in terms of the spiritual climate, let's talk about the spiritual climate even here on the ground because we are on the ground inside Kenya. Specifically for us, we are in Malindi, but both of us move
Yeah.
out of the city
Yeah.
for what? The same spiritual journey, this place of what people consider isolation, but it was insulation. So whereas we could have gone within even deeper than we were going before. So let's what is your take right now in terms of the spiritual climate of 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 of, of Kenya?
Yeah, of Kenya, and even when you see and you look at it, is like the Kenya is not separate from any other country in Africa and
Hmm.
this and that. So it is just me. I'm looking at it as this whole thing of Africa. It
Yes.
is just happening in Africa, and so what is just happening in Kenya for me, I take it as this portal that is opening, and Kenya is just being it's just in the right place of now being this opener of
Hmm.
these things that are happening, and also looking at it from this point that we are looking at this demonstration, we are looking at this protest, and people will look at them as a political thing, and that is just one aspect how it is being projected, but it is more of a spiritual thing than we can think about it.
Yes.
So it is more of a spiritual thing, and you look at even eclipse that took place in April. There's
Yes.
something big. So energetically and spiritually, there are so many things that are taking place, and there is just a lot of shift that is just happening. A lot of
There's a
shift,
lot of
and
energy
yeah, there
shift
is
that is
that
taking.
ascension that is happening, and the collective is rising high. So we are
Ah.
rising higher as a collective. So there are so many people that are now woke,
Mhm.
so many people. So that is what we are seeing inside.
Ah,
Yeah.
so you're saying that you can't hear us. Can you hear us now? Okay, let's check the volume. She said, can't hear you. Can you hear us now? Well, we need to speak a little bit louder.
Okay. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't speak.
Her voice, yeah, her voice is a little the
Yeah,
soft
yeah,
side.
yeah,
So
but it's
that is
okay.
that
Yeah,
is,
so maybe
so we
you
need the
tell
volume
me
as well,
now.
but you just need to speak up a little bit
Yeah,
louder.
yeah, okay.
That's what we say, can't hear her. So
Mm-hmm.
it's her you can't hear.
Yeah, yeah. So I need to learn
Project her vote.
shouting. Okay.
Yeah, so the spiritual climate um, um, globally has shifted. You made mention about the eclipse, and that was in the what we call the Northern Kingdom had that big eclipse. But that even though it happened in the Northern Kingdom, it affected the Northern and the Southern Kingdom holistic. I mean, all in totality. I'm gonna say holistically, but in totality, it affected everything. It's almost like it was a tidal wave, and so it has sent a lot of people inward, but still outward at the same time too. So, so you're just saying the spiritual climate is, I mean, I we talking about. I just was saying mentoring Kenya because this is where we're at right now. We
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the dynamics of what
Mhm.
just transpired
Mhm.
um, last week. It was.
Mhm.
So we know what transpired. So we know that there has to have been a serious spiritual shift, paradigm shift that took place. Because we know that also there was a lot of prophetic word went out about Kenya, that this big revival would take place in Kenya. And I did a video the other day in terms of what does the Joshua generation looks like, and we realized that, and one of the things that I keep on telling people that what they think is a revival, according to church, is not what is happening. It is a restoration um, of us coming back to ourselves, our supreme being, our intellect, our abilities, the things that we're able to do. I see some of the things that some of those Kenyans did, smoking, tear gas.
Yes, and all that. Yeah, and
Stuff.
yeah, for me, I look at them as this. For the longest time, we have always known that we have a lot of junk DNA. That is
Mhm.
what we've been told scientifically and all that. For me, I call that the God DNA.
Yes.
So that God DNA is starting to activate in so many of us, and it is just beautiful because you could see the bravery on
Yes.
their eyes, and you could just see the fearlessness, and
Yes.
that is Africa. For the
Yes.
longest time, the Africans have been like these people who are like cowards, and they are scared of this and that. But now looking at those kids, looking at what they were able to do, it is something much deeper. It is something coming from deep inside themselves. So it is just that activation that, for me, I feel is happening,
Yeah.
and it's just beautiful.
It comes back to I those who've been watching my channel for a while. There was a gentleman he's living inside South Africa. His name is Nabi Jonathan. And one of the things he talked about a lot was the X-men and the X-women and the powers that we have within ourselves that a lot of us have not tapped into.
Yeah,
So when you look at a lot of the Captain Marvel movies, the movies that they did, Superman and all of these different things, were the powers that we have that they put into movie form. And so to see young men and women standing in front of those cannons with those waters and not being even moved.
yeah, yeah. So it is just speaking to what we are remembering. So it is just a collective remembering of who we really are. Because even me, I look at it from this point of we are looking at these things from the point of movies and this and that, and you never get to see them as
Mhm.
these black people doing those hero
Yes.
things. So now looking at that is heroic. You know what
Yes.
happened and what will continue to happen is we will just be getting into that part of ourselves that is heroes.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it is very, very beautiful.
You said something in terms of because they tell us we have what you call it, 9 DNA strands,
Yeah.
and then we have these other junk DNA, but which is actually our God gene that is now being activated and coming alive. Not only that, um, what we're now learning is what they call the Akashe records. How how that is the records of who we are. That holds the records of us being able. So, do you think that when the eclipse had taken place, and in the midst of all this stuff that happening, it is where it started activating?
For me, I feel like even the eclipse was just a continuation of something that was already happening. Even before the eclipse, those who follow yoga, the yogic way, you had done this celebration of Kali Yuga, the
Uh,
end of Kali Yuga. So there have been so many cycles that are just closing, opening, closing, opening. There was that other one that was it 24,000 years that started in 2012. So there is
yes.
just a lot of things happening.
Overlaying.
We are within each other. There is just a lot of things. So energetically, there is just so much. So for those who can feel, they can really feel
Ah,
there is
so
so
what you're
much.
saying is it's a wave
Yeah, of so many
of
things
so
happening.
many things.
Yeah, there is even solar flares.
Yes.
Even the solar flares, they help. So there is just a lot of things that are just happening. And so what we can just say, it is just the universe conspiring to make sure that now you want to get into your greatness. It is the right time to get into the
Yeah,
greatness.
that's
The
not
wave of everything is just supporting
to
you.
step into
Yeah,
your
so there are
superpower.
so there are so many things that are supporting, not just one thing. The
Yeah.
solar eclipse is just one. There is
Mm.
the solar flares. There is this Kali yoga. There's just so many things.
It's like one of the things I was telling them because you know everybody's saying, "Oh, the world is coming to an end." I told
Yeah.
them, "No, we are a world without end." Um, and so what is happening is an end of an age is a beginning of an
Of
age,
another one.
but because that age was weaning out, it didn't just stop. It doesn't just stop. It is like crossing over, like passing the baton. If anybody's ever watched a relay, when one person, that person who starts with the baton, they don't just stop and then hand the baton. That person that is in front of them is moving and they're moving with them and handing them the baton. So the crossover isn't just I'm stopping and then you start. So what you're saying is this energy, this awakening, this movement is a continuous
Yeah,
of what has already.
yeah, it is always a continuous process. So there is never. It is just like when you measure the cold and hot temperature in something. Where does the cold start and where
The
does
hot.
the hot stop? So it is just a continuation, but now you have different names, and also the new earth. The earth will always remain the same. That is just the thing. But how we experience the earth, how we are putting interpretation to the things that we experience is what will change. Yeah. So when you are talking about the new earth, it is you
Yes.
shifting. So that is what people should know. It is you doing the shift. All the other things will remain and they will follow where you are taking them.
Where you're taking them.
Yeah.
So it comes back to another thing that I found out in terms of research is so that is why now when we talk about the continuation, when you look at how they're finding all these ecosystems in in the earth, it's almost as if okay, we were always here.
Yeah.
But y'all just evolved out of us and you continue on with another system outside of who we are. So it's for us, it's us now developing and embracing the change that is energetically
Yeah.
happening. Energetically happening. Um, you are a part of according to what they gave us, and we don't like the grouping thing, but because of we're still in this construct called time,
Yeah.
they consider you a millennial,
Uh-huh.
and so there is a level of energy that the millennials
Do have.
carry,
Yeah.
that they dominate.
Mm-hmm.
um, what's your views on that?
Yeah, I'm just seeing there is a lot of memories. You know, there is this, I've not gone deep into that research, but there was a time, I don't know who was speaking about it, but he was saying there is something that happened in the 80s called supernova. I don't know whether
Yeah,
you've heard that. Yeah,
supernova. You
supernova.
gotta
So,
speak up.
yeah, so they said most of the people that were born after that, they had this activation. The babies, they were like many indigo
And
children
you
were
go
born,
to,
yeah, after that, so going from those 80s, going, it continues on getting deeper and deeper. And so the, yeah, so whatever it is, or the generation that keeps on coming, they are more evolved, yeah, because it is just that god DNA activating, and so it is just coming up from,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
So what? I'm, you saying that now sparked something else inside of me, and when you look at every era, okay, as I was preparing for you to come today, there was something that reside inside of me, and so that means that every era, like the baby boomers, then the Gen X and the millennials and the Gen Z, every era, something happened in terms of climate wise or universe at the universe level. We don't just say that because you had the supernova, you had the eclipse that transpired, you had I think with the baby boomers, you had like volcanoes, or you just always had something, asteroids. With the baby boomers, you had the asteroids and stuff like that. So every era had something universal apart, happen. So now, as I was preparing for this, this just what for me. And when you look at the elements, the four elements: air, water, earth, fire.
Fire.
So I look at the baby boomers; those were born between 1946 and 1964 as air. Because when you look at that era of those people, they just had movement. They had that happy-go-lucky, woo, woo. Even they were the ones who um, fought the hardest in terms of that oppression, that coming out of slavery type of situation. But when you call the baby boomers, you look at air. They just had that carefree kind of life. I think something they had in America called what? Woodstock. You know, they had something called Woodstock where they went into the parks, they smoked, they drink, they dance, they just had a good time. And then for my generation, which you call Gen X, which is from the 1965 to 1980, I saw this was shown to me as water, as the water. They was fluid. They just moved. They fit in anywhere. They were able to adjust, readjust. If you look at a lot of the Gen X, they were they are the ones that just move. They could pack up their whole house and just move. They're not bound by I have to stay in this one spot type of thing. I'm there, they're like water. And then you millennials, you had you're like from 1981 to 96. I got three of them, but three millennials. They're like Earth. They the ones the grounding. They the ones that make you. They ground you. They make you think. You understand? The millennials really, really make you
Yeah.
think. But now, when we look at these Gen X, they come with fire.
Gen Z.
The Gen Z, I mean, the Gen Z come with fire. Those from 1997 to 2012, these ones come with a lot of fire. So, what's your hearing this? What's residing in your putting these elements um, out there.
Yeah, yeah, I'm seeing the connection because now even looking at the earthing and now grounding and just looking at myself and most of even the friends that we are almost in the same age bracket, you see there have just been a lot of healing from those
Mm,
traumas. So there's just been a lot of healing on our side. You look at that generation and they have dealt with a lot of traumas. They have been the one doing a lot of healing. They have been the one saying, "I'm putting a stop to this." Like me, I was a kid who underwent a lot of traumas and this and that. And so there are just many of us who are now looking at ourselves and saying, "That story ends with me.
mhm.
That story ends with me." And my kids, I want them to see the best. I want them to experience the best and this and yeah, I can see the acting there. Now see what they are. Yeah. So they like want to ground the things and
Mhm.
put this great foundation. So yeah, I can see that there. And
Yeah,
yeah, now seeing the Gen Zs and what we
the
are seeing. So
fire and the fire
yeah,
that is inside the Gen Z
it's
is,
just something else.
and yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah,
but
the ancestors have woken up through us. You know, they never slept. You know,
no.
that is the other thing. They never slept, but I think they were just grouping and regrouping. And so the ancestors are living through us,
Yes.
and so those things that they were not able maybe to accomplish because of this and that, those traumas. You know, it is through healing those traumas that you are now able to stand into your greatness. You know, for the longest
Mm.
time we've just been looking at the traumas and they did this and they did that and we are slaves and we did this. And so
Yes.
now standing on those slavery, they did this, they did that. So you are not able to see your greatness. But after you've healed the trauma, that is now when you are able to look through and see I'm beyond
That
just
yes,
this.
this trauma.
Yeah, I had all this trauma, but I was able to do this and that. Now, what after dealing with the trauma? So I'm seeing that happening. That is what is really happening. And now even us having I'm raising they're called Gen Alphas. Those ones will be something else. They'll just be something else because it is the more you heal, the more you get to know who you really are.
So now watch this, and I wanted it to get to the Gen Alphas because when I look at the Gen Alphas, which is these ones now, you see all of the elements in them at one time. You don't just see air, you don't just see water, you don't just see earth, you don't just see fire.
Yeah.
They are what if we watched the last Avatar, like they are the ones that is pulling
All of
all
them.
everything together. They are now what we can consider the holistic aspect of us.
Yeah.
We were separated in
Yeah.
terms of
Yeah.
baby boomers, Gen X,
Yeah.
millennium,
Yeah.
Gen Z, but the alphas. Because when you look at the word alpha, what alpha is, the beginning
Yeah, it's a beginning.
is a whole new beginning with them.
Yeah.
Because this beginning with them is everything that you learned, I learned, because I got my grandbabies that are alphas now.
Yeah.
So everything that I've learned, everything my mother learned, are now being poured into these
Yeah.
alphas.
Yeah.
So they are now holistic. They are
Yeah.
all four elements
Yeah.
in one.
It's just so beautiful to dream about what
Yes.
is coming. It is
Yes.
so beautiful, and what is also facing Africa is just amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is just amazing.
So I'm eternally grateful for for what is happening. So, sorry, dear family.
That is
Yeah, I'm so eternally grateful for what is happening. So the spiritual climate is not just not just Kenya,
yeah,
not just
East
Zimbabwe,
Africa. Yeah,
not just America, not just Botswana, not just South Africa, not just Tanzania or Malawi or anything or Ghana. This spirituality, the spiritual climate is global,
yeah,
but it took this because remember, according to the prophecy, it was going to come from the east. So it took the Gen Z's, the fire. It took fire to, what is it? It only take a spark to get a fire going.
yeah,
So it took the spark of the Gen Z's in Kenya to get this spiritual climate that was already going, but it did not have the wind
Yeah.
that it needed to blow on it to help it. So what happened? The baby boomers had to get behind them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and also think they are working with their hearts. They are not just
Yes.
they just don't have the brains only. Their
No,
hearts
their
are
heart.
very open. You know, I was looking at this incident where they were going into the parliament building,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they found there this MP who had even voted yes, and they found him and he was disabled, and now that is I was looking at that and I was taking it very seriously. I was looking at
Yes.
them and okay, so even the MPs, his fellow MPs,
Left
have
them
run,
behind.
yeah, have run away, and they didn't care what, or maybe I don't know, but you can see the shift of mindset, shift of paradigm
Mm-hmm.
to the how to prioritize
Yep.
humanity, to
Humanity
prioritize,
above
yeah,
ourselves.
above the other things, because now I was just looking at that one story and it was just giving me so much. I was just like in this place of these kids, this generation, this young
They still have
generation, it
a
just
compassion.
has, yeah, the level of heart opening that has
Mm-hmm.
happened with them. It is so beautiful because they helped that man, they took him to safety,
Yeah.
and now
They
and then
gone back.
yeah,
They
they
went back
went
into.
back. And not just that, even when you look at the videos, even
Mhm.
the ones in the streets, somebody falls and they come back
Come
for,
back and lift
yeah,
them
so
up.
it is just showing you how they are prioritizing that humanity,
The humanity.
Ubuntu. Yeah, I'm
Ubuntu.
telling you, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
very, very happy.
Ubuntu.
Yeah, I'm just
I
seeing
am
it. I'm
because you are.
Yeah, so you just see that priority, you see that prioritization of humanity, the
Mm-hmm.
compassion and all that, and I'm like, now we are getting it.
No.
Because for the longest time we have just been these people operating from this point of view, it's only my brains, my brains, my brains,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't stop to think
Mm-hmm.
how what you are doing with your brain only is affecting the other people. So
Ex-
now when you start to use the brain
brain.
and you connect it with the heart,
Heart.
you get a superhuman being. And so that is what
Yes.
I'm
That's
feeling we are getting.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is so great. And even when you mentioned that, I saw something on TikTok also with the one that is fallen where they shoot him in the head, how those ones gathered around him and
Yeah.
stood there
Yeah.
with his with his dead body on that concrete,
Mm-hmm.
and they stood there with him until somebody came to
Mm-hmm.
collect him. And
Mm-hmm.
then there was another one circulating with another dead body that they all lift him up together
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and carried him
Yeah.
to the ambulance and stuff like that, or to the coroner's car.
Mm-hmm.
And so this generation, this Gen Z, the spiritual climate with these Gen Z is really, even though it's fire, is showing you compassion with it.
There is just a lot of compassion.
It's a
And
lot of
yeah,
compassion.
you can have all the brains, you can have all the whatever it is, but when you don't have the aspect of the heart into the decisions that you are
Mm.
making, you are lost. And that is what we are facing right now. We had a lot of brain and thinking and this and that, but we lost that.
All
Yeah,
intellect
the
and no
feel, yeah,
compassion.
no compassion at all.
Hey,
And that is what we are
ah,
facing. So when you have that confidence, you have the brain, and you have now the heart, you just imagine what is coming. It is very, very beautiful. Me, I just imagine about that life, and it is just beautiful to see what is, because this is a
wow.
foundation
Yes.
of the future.
Yep.
Yeah, and it is very encouraging.
It reminds me. I told a story one time when I got into teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I had this passion just to teach, just get it, teach this, get these children to learn. But there was a disconnect with compassion. So you have this passion, but this disconnect with compassion. And so I give birth to, she would have been a Gen Z also.
Mm-hmm.
And if she was still alive today, Violet, she was the compassion to
Yeah.
my passion.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the one who taught. Oh goodness, man, this
Yeah.
is a real revelation.
Yeah.
She's a Gen. She would have, if she was still in flesh form, she would have been a Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
This year would have been her 21st
Yeah. Yeah.
birthday.
Gen Z, yeah.
Yeah. And all of this passion that I had to teach, but I was disconnected from compassion. So what this Gen Z did, take my passion and connect me with compassion to bring about a balance. And
Yeah.
so what I'm seeing is, as you're saying, is this Gen Z, they didn't only come with this passion, but they came with passion and compassion. And they came out not looking, it's just, it wasn't for themselves.
Yeah. And even when you listen to them,
It
they
was
tell
not for
you we are
themselves, this was
fighting
for
for all
you.
of you,
You fight
for all
this.
of you.
I saw one stand up and talk to the officer. He said, "Why are you fighting me? I'm fighting this for you. I'm fighting this for us."
Yeah.
You know, I saw some
So there's
saying,
just that spirit of
yes,
oneness, which
that
is,
Ubuntu,
yeah,
that
the
Ubuntu
spirit of
spirit.
oneness. Yeah, the
Yes.
spirit of oneness there is something else. You know, it's just, it is like it is moving you to
I
tears
need to
because,
change this.
yeah,
I need to
yeah,
change this title
yeah,
from the spirit climate change to the spirit of Ubuntu that is in,
yeah,
that has
yeah,
been
yeah.
really in operation.
It
You
is
know.
so beautiful to just sit and you just want it to continue and continue because that is what will heal the entire world. That is
Yes.
what will heal Africa.
That,
You know, the world, the African continent is not suffering
no.
from the point of where we have been directed all the time. We don't have resources or we don't have money. It is not suffering from all those things. We are suffering from the lack of love.
The lack of compassion, the
Yeah,
lack
lack
of
of
love.
love is what we are suffering
Yeah.
from. So if you are able to fix it from that point,
So
we
the
are able to
spiritual
fix every
climate
other thing.
change need to be love.
Yeah, it needs to be love. Love is the highest vibration. That is what is lacking.
Yeah.
It is not any other thing. So when you put that love as the foundation, every other thing is fixed. So when you have all the confidence and you don't have a heart to listen
Yeah.
to people, you don't have a heart to even think about others, you are going nowhere. You have all the confidence and you have the brain and you have the heart. Now you are going somewhere.
You
And
see?
it is just beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
really, really beautiful. So, family, yes, I believe that Ubuntu, the spirit of Ubuntu, is truly um, rekindled. This Gen Z has rekindled the fire in the spirit of Ubuntu. I am because you are. I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm not doing this so I can advance, but I'm doing this. We are doing this, and I'm gonna say I. They continue to say it. We are doing this
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah. So you can even see there is a paradigm shift from
Mhm.
that selfish
I,
and I need this and I need that, but to we.
we.
So you know when we
Yeah.
operate from that space of we,
Yeah, it's a whole
it's
totally
just
different.
so beautiful.
eh,
Yeah.
eh, and so everybody would benefit from it.
Everybody will benefit from it. Yeah. When you separate, you are also, you know, like was it Kwame Nkrumah who said, unless all of us are experiencing freedom, we have not yet
We're
reached.
in a
So
free,
even if I reach myself and you have not, we
we are
have not
not
yet
reached.
reached. So I'm just seeing spirit of that, and I'm just seeing, and I can just imagine how the ancestors are now
Rejoicing, say
they're
we encamped
rejoicing.
about with so many
Yeah,
greater
these
cloud
are
of
the things that
witnesses.
we've been planning to do, and this
Yes.
and that. So it is just beautiful to see it unravel. And right now it might be like there are things happening here and there, there are
Yeah.
rough here and there, but what is
Eventually,
coming is beautiful.
it's like a train coming out of the station. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. It cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
The spirit has been released. The spirit of Ubuntu has been released. The climate change has already been released, and so there is no stopping it. You could try and frustrate it. You could. You can't even delay it no more.
Yeah,
Only thing you could do is try to frustrate it, and I would advise anybody who is trying to frustrate it to just move out of the way. Sit back, relax, and allow.
But even as you put those frustration and all that, you are just making it to be even bigger and
Yes.
bigger and bigger. Because me, I am for this. Uh, it is everything is always working for you.
Yes.
So we are moving from that paradigm and consciousness of this are happening to me, and we are now going to this these are happening for me, and I hope the next one will be these
It's
are
happening
happening
for us.
for us. Yeah, they're happening for us, and then the next one will be like these are happening through me,
Through-
and then yeah, and the final one is these are happening as me. So it is just
Yes.
looking and going through that journey of oneness, and now connecting and
You gotta
connecting and
you gotta
connecting.
say that again for the audience. This has happening.
Yeah, it is first you the lowest is these things are happening to me, and then you go to these things are happening for me, and then the next they are happening through me, because you
Yes.
realize it is not somebody, even when you are thinking they are happening for you,
Mhm.
you are looking at it from the point that there is external beings
Yes.
making things. So you are not, when you graduate from for me, you
Uh-huh.
go to through me, so
Yes.
it is me
It's me making this happen.
yeah, so after that you go, they're happening as me,
Yes.
because we are all
One,
one. So
collective,
everything is just happening
connected.
as me. So it is beautiful to just
Yeah.
see how we are graduating from one place
To another.
to the next. And so the new earth is just about the consciousness.
Yeah.
It is not going anywhere. It is just about that rising consciousness and
Yes.
just the ascension and all that. So it is beautiful
It's
to just
beautiful.
imagine what is
Enjoy
coming
the
up.
ride.
Yeah,
Enjoy the journey. You know, that's what I normally say with healing. Healing is a process and it's a journey. Be gentle with yourself.
Yeah.
But even in this spirituality, it's a process and it's a journey.
Yeah.
And be gentle with yourself. And
Yeah.
be gentle with those that are around you that are not where you are at this time. That's the other aspect I realized with this spiritual climate is that because some people, because they think they have arrived, they tend to look down at somebody else who's not where they're at spiritually as yet, not understanding that we are all on this journey collectively, but also individually.
Yeah, and also realizing that each and every one of us has a different agenda.
Ah,
And all of us, we are just here, we are collecting. It is like we are all collecting data for the one, for the source. So if we are all collecting the same thing, it will be even boring. So when I look at it and looking at all, I call them frequency rainbows.
Yes.
So it is just, there has to be this frequency, that frequency, that frequency, that frequency for there to be that beauty. You can just imagine if the rainbow just had one color, it won't be the same thing. So even me, I look at the frequencies like that. So it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you respect me where I am, I respect you where you are, it is just okay. So we are here to learn different things, and we are here to put different parts to
But-
that, to
but-
the source.
Even and that is so well said and demonstrated. But when you look at us, we're both females, but we're still different.
Yeah.
I know I got my hair cut. You cut. You got
Yeah.
your hair with the locks. You understand me. I'm more aged than yourself and stuff like that. You want the shades of our skin is different. Our eyes,
Yeah.
the way we speak, our mannerism. But guess what? We're still able to dwell together. We are still able to communicate. You understand? Still to be able to appreciate each other where we are at.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. I think that for me, moving forward, in terms of the spiritual climate, it is accepting people where they are at.
Yeah.
And that's
just
it.
Yeah, that is just it.
You're my Muslim sister. I love you, Salama. You're my Christian sister, Amina. I love you. You're my Hebrew brother, sister. I love you. I saw you know every which it's respecting and appreciating and loving people where they're at with the frequency they're at. No, even when we look at our bodies, they talk about something called what they call it, chakras.
Chakras, yeah, the chakra system.
But everything has its level.
Yeah,
Everything has its place. And so spiritually we must I guess that's the emphasis today. Spiritually we must accept people
Yeah, they are.
where they are.
Yeah. It does not mean, sometimes people confuse even acceptance for condoning.
Yeah.
So it is not about you condoning people doing bad things to
No.
you and all this and that. It is just about, as long as you are doing your thing and you are not harming anybody.
Don't hurt nobody.
That should just be, that is where you draw the line. Don't harm anybody. You are doing your things and you are feeling good about them.
Yeah.
Okay, do them. But when it comes to condoning,
There's a
that.
difference.
Yeah,
I'm
there's just a
condoning you and
difference.
doing
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Do
No,
people?
no. But the thing is this, um, and I think it was something me and somebody was having a conversation, living the life, the change I want to see. Let it, let me live that. So whereas when somebody sees me, they're like, hey, like even for us, I mean, in terms of our connection, hey, she's inside the coastal area. Let me
Yeah,
connect. You
yeah,
understand?
yeah.
And so people would want to connect with you when that frequency of what they're saying connects
With you.
with you.
And even if sometimes you can feel like you're so high, and then you're meeting people that you're okay. Why am I meeting? So anything that you are facing, anything that you're experiencing, is never a mistake.
No.
It is supposed to be there. So before judging outside,
Yeah.
look at yourself and ask yourself, what is it inside me that is attracting this? What is it in me that I need to heal? What is it in me that I need to check?
Yeah.
Now you see, when you live from that point, the judging and
Yeah.
it will by itself,
Yeah.
it's going to just resolve.
Yeah.
Because you just take it back to you.
You take that's it right there. Take the judging from judging somebody else to looking at the man, the
Yeah.
woman in the mirror, looking at yourself. What in me is making me judge this person the way now mind you, yes, you can give your opinion on something that somebody is doing because you know what I'm saying people say we have the right to judge and all this different stuff. Okay, but it's still a reflection of you. At the end of the day, what is the life you are living? You know, and talking about in terms of the differences even in age, right? I found myself now surrounded with a lot of millennials. Before I used to be surrounded with a lot of baby boomers, right?
Okay.
So I'm Gen X, and I was surrounded by a lot of baby boomers. Now I find myself surrounded with more millennials and Gen Zs. And I'm like, now that I'm talking to you, it's like, okay, yes, that was a paradigm shift. You understand? Because now I gained some of the wisdom from the baby boomers that I need, but now the Gen Zs and the millennials come with a whole totally different set of information and revelation that
Yeah.
they are not attached to this world
Yeah.
the way.
And that right there is something that I hope even the older generation learns, because me, I keep on saying we are living in this society that has set these things in place, that the baby, the
Yes.
kid is the one who is supposed to adapt to each and everything that you put in place, and you are not adapting to
To nothing.
anything. Yeah, to nothing, because you feel they know nothing. And that is also the other thing I think is changing. The paradigm is shifting from that thing of thinking that it is only the brain that does the thing, because we keep on saying, because they have not, they're prefrontal, they have not matured, they mature when, and this and that. So they say so many things, and they leave out a lot of wisdom. So even looking at the Gen Zs and what is happening right now, you get to realize wisdom is not just about the age. It is not just about the age. So that paradigm, we have to shift
You
from that,
shift.
because there are so many things even we are not learning from our kids, because we think they don't
No.
know. And now you go to the even development, the biological, and you see the heart is the one that it really matures very fast. It is like the first thing that
That is
comes on
developed,
board.
yeah.
It is developed and all that. So, and you realize the heart is much more powerful than
Yep,
the brain
than the
in
brain.
all aspects, whether it is magnetism, whether it is
But they
electric.
say the brain, the heart is the real brain.
Yeah.
You
So
want?
yeah, so their hearts are fully awakened.
Yep.
So they have so much to offer. They have so much to offer. So that is even a thing that the older generation should learn from the things that they have been able to do. They're
And
just beautiful.
watch it. And the things that this generation, millennials and Gen Zs, are able to do in less time
Yeah.
than what baby boomers and Gen X were able to do. Not only that, this is something I share now a lot with new mothers and mothers of Alpha, the generation that is coming now. Pay attention, because what we did not know, what we did not understand was, even though this flesh is a baby, this flesh is young, it never tells us our spirit is baby, because they done teach us our spirit never dies, and our spirit enters us after conception. Okay? So that means to tell me that you might be looking at a young 2-year-old, but maybe 100 years old in terms of spirit.
Yeah, now if you look at it from the point of reincarnation,
Okay?
you can look at it from this point of maybe that is a soul that has reincarnated even 5,000 times. You are the mother, you
Right.
have just reincarnated 50 times. So there is a lot of wisdom from that. So
Yeah.
and also this young generation, they are young in age physically, but most of them, they are
Spiritually
very
old in
old
spirit.
souls.
Yeah,
they're
very old souls.
Yeah.
Very old souls. And so that's where the other aspect of this Ubuntu is, and that's probably why this Gen X is so fiery like they are, because they come with this passion and compassion at the same time. You know, to because fire, when you look at fire, yeah, fire also destroys, but fire also purifies.
Yeah.
We use fire to purify when you want to cultivate the land, they tell you burn the land first. So you see that fire is so needed. We need fire to cook food.
Yeah.
Fire
Has a
is,
lot of importance
yes,
in
and fire has a
society.
lot of importance, you know. And so this generation, so the spiritual climate with this generation is so needed.
Yeah.
It's so needed. It's so needed.
Yeah.
It has sparked something. I listened to some conversations with some baby boomers. I listened to some conversations with Gen X and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's what they needed. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
it is just beautiful.
And
to
it comes
see.
back to having that
And
childlike spirit.
have you seen that president? Now he's the president of Burkina Faso. The
Yes.
youngest is a
Tw-
millennial.
yeah,
But
he's a
look at what
millennial.
he has been able to do to achieve in just 2 years.
Yeah, because he wanted it to step down, and they tell him no, they're going to give
No.
him 10 years.
Yeah.
And he said, no. They said, okay, they went back to Parliament and they give him 5 years. But he's doing so much, so yeah, Ture. And I'm very proud of him at the same time, too. Now, him and what's his name, who just got elected from
The other country.
Senegal. Senegal, is
The
it
name,
Senegal?
yeah, the name has escaped my
But
mind,
they just met and they sat down and they're talking and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And this is what is needed.
Yeah.
And I heard Mapunga, I think it was Joshua Mapunga said something. You, Gen X, and some baby boomers who are in power, 64 countries could not come together. And you allow some young people, Gen X, come together and put you to shame.
Yeah. Because for me, I'm looking at it from this point that the templates of the greatness of
Yes.
Africa
Is in the youths.
Yeah, it is in the youth.
It's
They
in
are
the
the
youths.
ones who are able to still dream and see what is really
But-
there.
But every revolution, think about it. Every revolution was ignited by the spirit of the youths of the
Yeah,
country,
yeah.
of that nation. Even for us in the Bahamas, when we got our independence, it wasn't from the older generation.
Yeah.
It was from the young people.
Yeah, so
Our
if you are
prime
not
minister,
willing to
our very
listen to
first,
them.
our very first prime minister was only 32 years old.
Yeah, so for me, I'm just excited. I'm just excited
Yeah.
with what is happening, and I'm just seeing a lot of hope. I'm just seeing a lot of restoration
Yes.
even to what Africa is really
Yes.
about. Because for the longest time, it has been sold to us about these stories of poverty, about this story of, oh, I don't know, they need this, they need
Mhm.
So now we are starting to see our greatness, and this is just a pinch.
Yeah,
of
it's just a
what-
drop in the bucket.
Yeah, this is just a pinch. So
Yeah.
we should be ready to witness more and
Mhm.
more
And
more.
participate. Not only
Yeah.
just witness it,
Yeah.
be a part of the Ubuntu, be a part of the spiritual change that is here.
Yeah.
It comes back to when I tell people, they ask me, oh, why you? I came here on a spiritual journey, and I'm still on that journey.
Yeah.
That's what brought me here. A spiritual journey brought me to Kenya. And even when I went up to Mount Kenya, that was one of the things they said, oh, the spirit of this country brought you here. So I was like, what? So I was like so in awe, You understand? So the spiritual change, the spiritual climate is all Ubuntu.
Yeah, the spirit of Ubuntu.
The spirit of the spiritual change. And that's what the topic is on here. The spiritual climate is Ubuntu. That's what the spiritual climate is. So you want to know what's happening here on the continent. You want to know all of these uprising that is transpiring and taking place. It is the spirit of Ubuntu.
Yeah, these people moving away from that greediness,
Yes,
selfishness,
that's
and just
selfish.
looking at yourself and just speaking things that you don't mean.
Yeah.
To
Empty
that,
promises.
Yeah, to that place of now we know we deserve this
Mo-
and
we-
this. So it is, we have moved to Aquarius, and Aquarius is just about knowing.
Knowing
And
the
that-
know.
So I know. So
I
I am
know.
not just believing those things that you're just telling me. I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
know I deserve.
Don't
much
just tell
better.
me.
Yeah,
Don't
just
do,
tell
you
me.
hide your hand and say, oh, that's something behind my hand. No, show me. Show me. This is a generation of don't only just tell me. I don't see, I don't know.
I
When
want
you-
to feel.
I want to feel this now. I
experience.
want to experience this
Yeah.
myself. I want to participate.
Yeah, don't give me
Just something
promises.
inside of me so strong telling me, listen, I have to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I listened to some of the testimonials of people who say, a pastor said he was driving with his daughter and his daughter stopped the car. I got to go in there with my peers.
Yeah.
She jumped out of the car. There's a father who said his children tell him, we go. And he said, I can't stop you. But he gave them advice. So you hear them standing up to their parents and saying, I'm going to do what you couldn't do. I hear your fears. Because think about it.
I'm not
These
living
Gen
your
Z,
fears.
well, not only that, I'm not living your fears, but these Gen Zs heard and see the cry of their parents.
Yeah.
They saw the victimization of their parents. And so now it's like enough is enough. This
Yeah.
buck stops here. The spirit is Ubuntu.
Yeah,
Oh
this
my
is
gosh,
beautiful.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
It was a great time to be
It is a
alive.
great time to. It is the best time to be alive. It is the best time to be alive. There are people who are wishing that it is not happening, but when you can really, really get into it and see what is really happening, not from the point of just this is what is happening
See it from
physically,
up.
but just see it from that up there.
Yes.
It is so beautiful to just
When
watch
self
it
come out of
moving.
self, and like how people say they had this near-death experience or they died and their spirit came out of their body, have that outer body experience.
Yeah.
So you're seeing it from
Yeah.
not just in your body, but from an outer body experience. Yes.
It's just beautiful what is happening.
Mhm.
So beautiful. And right now people are looking at it and they're like, no, it is bad, but it is just a purging, and it has to happen. It just has to happen so
Yeah.
that we get that
Yeah.
beautiful thing that we are.
So the restoration of the land could truly take place. They talk about the land being purged and the land being restored and the land being healed. But this is what it takes for healing to
Yeah.
for healing to take place.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may get a wound, and in order for that wound to heal, when you go to the doctor gotta now go in that wound to clean that wound out.
Yeah.
And does it feel good? No. But guess what? It's for your good. So
Yeah.
the infection could be healed. And so I'm happy I'm here.
Yeah, it is just beautiful to be here right now, and even to experience the energies is just something else. It is just beautiful. It is just
Yeah.
beautiful. So this is
The energy's on a different, it's a whole different level. The other day, I was up from about 12:30 until almost 5 o'clock in the morning, just could not sleep. And one of the things I said was, when sleep disappears, revelation comes.
yeah.
It's just the joy of sitting in that energy, in that present, to know that, hey, a brighter day is there. And today is the first day of July, according to the calendar they give us. And this is what I said. And I encourage you, the first 6 months has gone. You understand? It's
It has
gone.
gone very
It's
fast.
gone. But anybody who watch sports, it is in the second half. It is in the second quarter. We're champions. are born, are
Yeah.
forged, and it's in this half right here, is in this second half, and going from here going forward, is where you're going to see champions forged and born. We lose some heroes, those young bloods, those innocent blood, those ones who've gone on. They've gone on with the ancestors as heroes, and their names will never be forgotten. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. But now, this is the championship game. This is where the true spirit of Ubuntu will really merge and come together
Yeah.
and really come alive. So, yeah,
So we are just living in the best times.
yes,
Yeah, we can be seeing things from different angles right now, but we
yes,
are just living in the best times. So me, what I keep on saying is that your physical eyes, they are only seeing 1% of what is really happening. So there is just so much that is happening energetically, and it is
yes,
all happening to make sure that we get that which we all deserve. Africa is just reclaiming her
yes.
greatness.
How greatness.
Yeah, and it's just beautiful to be here to
Yes,
witness
yes, the
how it
greatness.
is unfolding.
So it's like, oh, okay. It's like, as a mother, you're pregnant, and that 9 months has come to an end, and that contraction and all that pain of
Yeah.
what you was waiting for, and so now you're giving birth. And yes, you're gonna go through that pain and you're gonna cry and stuff, but when that baby comes, you forget all
All
the
that,
pain
yeah.
that you went through.
Yeah.
And so all that we've been through for the past years, hundreds of years, we're now stepping into that place of giving birth to the greatness, the restoration, that baby that has been promised,
Yeah.
that promised seed.
The time is
The
now.
time is now.
Yeah, the ancestors are all here. They
Yes.
are all happy, and they are you.
Yes.
So wherever you are, you are the
The
one that
ancestor
you have been waiting
for.
for. So it is just beautiful. So it is
Just
just this realization. I've always been here.
Always
so
been
I
here.
am the one that I've been waiting for.
But and you said that people think you're thinking, but when you do your lineage, what it take for you to be here, okay, you're here. It's your mother and your father. When you think about your mother's mother and father, their mother, it, it, all of them
They are here right
in
now.
you,
Yeah, right
in
now.
this space, in this time, in this moment, experiencing
Experiencing
everything
Yeah.
with us and through us,
Yeah.
you know. And so I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. It is very exciting. Very exciting. So we just wish and hope for the best, and we just keep on focusing on the greatness. Keep on focusing on the greatness. So
yes.
we give birth to greatness.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I really want to share with you, family. Um, their narrative of what they're going to share is not the narrative of what is on the ground or the spirit that is in the air. And they're going to share a narrative from a negative perspective to keep you from coming, to keep you in a place of fear, to keep you in a place of uh, whenever what do you say, when these African leaders ever come together, don't listen to that narrative. Get that narrative, detoxify yourself from the narrative of the media, and really tap into your spiritual self and literally see, let the Most High, let the divine, let the creation, let the Creator, let your higher self show you truly what's happening in the spirit, in the climate, in what's happening. Because change is here, it's happening. So yes, they will give you one narrative to keep you in a place of fear, but you must know. What you said, we're in the age of knowing. This ain't just believing anymore. We're in the age of knowing. No, Ubuntu is much alive.
Yeah. Tap into the
And
knowing.
tap into the knowing.
Yeah.
Share with the any heart sentiments you wanna just.
I don't have much. Just we are just purging. There's just a lot of purging that is happening,
Yes.
and it is all happening so that we can be able to see our greatness, because there is just so much that has been put in front of us. As an African, and just not just an African, being even a lady, a woman, there's just a lot of things that have been put in place for such a long time. You are this, you are that. There is just a lot of things that are blocking you from you reaching to who you really are. So
Yes.
right now, what is happening is there's just a lot of unveiling happening, a lot
Yes.
of unveiling, a lot of unveiling. So it is just beautiful. And
Yes.
so just embrace the journey and know that the journey is actually the destination.
Come
So
on.
you just have to see it tonight to know that you're already where you want to go.
Ah, the, come on, y'all heard what she said? The journey,
Is also
oh,
the
it's also the
destination.
destination.
Yeah,
So keep on going,
yeah,
because you're in the destination.
yeah.
Just a matter of fact that you woke up this day. Oh, it's, you're already to the destination of
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that
Because
is
when you
powerful.
realize things are happening not
Yes, to you,
to you, but
but
as you, so you realize the journey is also the destination.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So see what I tell you all? You gotta hang around some of us baby boomers, some of y'all baby boomers, some of us Gen X, we gotta hang around the millennials and the Gen Zs because they have a set of wisdom also that we need in order for us to flourish and what you call it, help cultivate the alphas that are coming,
Yeah.
that are here. And we don't say they're coming, that are here,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
alphas that are here. We got to come together. We have to create that village kind of
Yeah.
mentality
Yeah.
once again. And that is so important.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you, my
Yeah, I
beautiful
appreciate
sister.
being here too.
Ah,
And
yes.
I'm really, really grateful for the times that we are living in. And I'm also very grateful for everyone who is working on themselves because, to reach here, people have done work.
Yes.
People have really, really done work. So it is time for you even to celebrate where you are. And yeah, and congratulate yourself and the
Yes,
journey
tap
that
yourself
you've been
on it.
going through and all that. So because all this happened because of even that collective,
Yes.
yeah, the collective hard work that we
Yes.
put to work on ourselves spiritually.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is
Because
beautiful. We
we
should
did
all
collective and then we did the personal, but we still, at the end of the day, it's all
Yeah.
about us. Ubuntu.
Yeah.
I am because
because
you are.
yeah,
You understand? There's no just one person. No, and they have the saying, no man is an island by himself.
Yeah.
We need each other for the journey that is set before us. You know, um, I smile because when you take some of the stories that they give us, like the Joshua story, and they said that the Most High spoke to Joshua and told Joshua to prepare himself and prepare the people for in 3 days. We're gonna cross this Jordan. And then I look at the movement that took place here. Oh goodness, what's going on? I look at the movement that took place here, and it's 3 days, and it continues. So I'm thankful to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please continue to send high vibrations, send your love and a positivity to us here in Kenya as the movement continues. Malawi is now doing, Ghana, Uganda, Zimbabwe. There are so many other countries are now. Ubuntu has now come into the the spirit of Ubuntu.
Yeah.
Yeah, the youths, the Gen Z generation. And there again, the baby boomers, the Gen X, the millennials are standing with them.
Yeah.
And that's the awesomeness about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I thank you once again, Miss
Yeah, thank
Sister.
you,
Thank you for coming. And thank you for being a part of this awesome move that is taking place. Much love, family.